Hi everyone, it's Jonathan. This is the third time I've made this video. I'm trying to cut it down as much as I can. I can't keep it under the 5 minutes. Forgive me if you want, cut it off at the 5 minutes. I've tried to get it, but I want to share with you what's going on and help you guys process it with me, what's been happening this last week. Things are going pretty good. I'm at Odyssey House again, residential adult or non-residential adult outpatient. And this last week, I've been running 2 groups, Discovery and DBT, and it's been going pretty good, about 3 weeks now. And this last Tuesday in the Discovery group, this woman intern came in with me. She's bachelor's level, and there's some interesting dynamics going on. I don't know if she felt threatened by me or she seemed nice and friendly to me, but anyways, let me tell you what happened. So I went in with the group. She joined us, came in, and the group started out doing well. We did check-ins, and one of the clients, there was a very intense situation where the client was, he's a 37-year-old male, and he's married a 20-year-old female, and they have a child together. They have extensive drug history. He kind of feels like he ruined her life because he kind of was the one to kind of lead her on the road. And so he started telling how, because right now the drug court has made it so that they can't speak to each other, and DCSF has a no contact order on them. So, and it's driving him nuts. He can't stand it. So he's very frustrated, and he told the group that he's thinking about filing for divorce, and in order to speak with because he knows he'll have to go to mediation. And as you could probably guess, the group had very strong feelings about that, intense, and it ended up being a very heated and intense discussion. And there's a lot of feedback. The other intern, I thought she had some good things to say and was trying to help, but there was a point there where this young man, or this man, got upset as something one of the other peers had said, and so he kind of aggressive, whatever, he kind of mocked her and went, and got up in her face, and she's very loud and intense, and when he did that, she's like, what the F is that? And I'm in the background going, no, don't. I'm like, calm down. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna get ugly, because she's like, that is so offensive to me. Why would you do that? And I think he felt attacked, and he had everybody coming at him, telling him that he was, what he was doing was not right, and they were doing it pretty well, so I was trying to balance it, but I also was trying to, control the feedback and make sure it was healthy and keep the environment healthy and not let it get toxic. And it was a miracle that it didn't turn very toxic or even violent, because they were up in each other's face, and she was yelling at him, and I was able to get it under control. And there was a point, it was a little, we got to a certain point where I realized we're not getting anywhere with this guy. He's stuck, and at least we've planted thoughts there. And we only have certain times, so I'm thinking, let's move on and let's refocus. So I refocused the group, got them back on task, and went on to the next. Well, the intern says, I got to go get something signed. And she gets up and walks out of the middle of the group, and I just keep on running the group. Like, okay, whatever. And and then she comes back in, and then a few minutes later she gets up again and goes out again. Well, so I get out of the group, and it was very intense, but I thought it had been a really good group. And, after that, everybody had kind of meshed back together. You couldn't even tell that they had almost had a fight. And so if I'm going over, you have the option to shut the screen off if you want, but I'm sorry, but I could use your advice or your help. So I get out, and the director, we're standing around talking, and the program director is this intern's, she runs the entire program. She's the bachelor levels field instructor. And so the clinical director pulls me in and says, John, you need to not cut clients off, and not. He started giving me this bad feedback that I'd done all this and this and this and bad, and that I wasn't, that I wasn't quite running the groups right. And I'm like, what is this coming from? It just kind of was like, okay. And, I'm trying to think, oh, okay, how did I do it? And I'm trying to fit it in where the feedback's coming from. And it just bothered me all night. It was just really out of context. It didn't fit what was going on. And so it bothered me, and I went to sleep and slept on it. I woke up at like 6 in the morning, and it all clicked in place what had happened. And that intern had not liked how the group was going. She was either triggered herself, or I don't know what happened, to be honest. I could speculate on what her motivation was. Maybe she's just vindictive and wanted to get me. I doubt that. But she got up and went out and complained about me to the program director. And I've had this happen to me in the past, and it's the only time I've gotten bad feedback is when she sits in my groups. And something about the way I run the group, I don't know what it is. It could be anything. So I thought about how to approach it. I was a little frustrated. I'm thinking, should I go confront her first? Should I go speak to the program director and say, this isn't fair. You're talking about me and giving feedback, and taking the word of an intern, which I am an intern myself. But it was almost like she didn't understand the dynamics of what was going on in the group. The feedback I got was so far out of it, it was like she didn't understand what was going on. And so I went in, I spoke to my wife. She said, talk to the person that spoke to you. So I went with the clinical director. I pulled him in. I just kind of asked him, I really care how you and the program director think about me, or your perception of me. And I kind of put it together, and I explained to him how I put it together, and he admitted that, yeah, that's where the feedback had come from. He said, well, did she tell you she was going out? And I'm like, yeah, she got up and told me she was going out to talk to Christy, and which is the director. So she was backstabbing me, in other words. And I don't know if she viewed it like that, if it was intentional. He encouraged me to go speak to her and find out what's going on, and not in a toxic, not in a confrontive way. Of course, the weak part of me wants to go and, confront her and get angry. but the better part of me, I guess, as a social worker, I know what's the right thing to do. So I'm trying to handle it right and not do what she did to me. So I'm trying to go and I'll speak to her face to face and get feedback from her on the group. And then the clinical director was almost, because he sat in the groups when I run them, and he said I always said I did great. And it's only when when she was sitting in there that I get all this negative stuff. So so he was a little upset. He felt like he had been put in a position. I told him, I didn't go speak to the program director because I've been in situations where, and it really isn't intentional, where I create a cross channeling where people get upset because you talk to the wrong person or whatever. So he was a little frustrated and he's like, she's getting up in the middle of group to go out and complain about me. He's like, he's like, why is she even there? And I didn't tell him this, but I could have ripped on her and said, she was talking about herself, and trying to tell stories that were out of context, but I tried to just not go there. So I'm sure I didn't handle it perfectly, but I tried to do the best I could. I felt good afterwards that I had done the right thing, but just curious for your guys' feedback. Wonder if you've ever had anything like this happen and stuff's felt like it's just out of your control and there's nothing you can do about it. So, and I know I've made mistakes in the past with people, and it's actually a really good learning experience for me to learn how you can hurt people really bad, not intentionally, not realizing what you're doing. But so it's a good lesson for me. So hope you guys are doing well. I love hearing your stuff and getting your feedback and hearing what you guys are doing. So take care, and I'm sorry this is so long. So take care. Bye.